Alright, so Lunar Client just dropped something called Lunar Client Rewind. Let me pull that up. And it seems to be some kind of a video editor slash replay mod slash flashback slash Salwyrr Client alternative. And I haven't even looked at the trailer yet. I just saw a timeline and I saw first person replays. You guys have already seen the trailer, so time to install my favorite proprietary monopolistic Minecraft launcher again. Is that not on? Yeah, you are? That's crazy. So this is pretty interesting and for a lot of factors. If the recording format is like really small because it's just recording packets, and also the rendering can also be really interesting if it renders the same way replay mod and all that renders. So I need to log into my Minecraft accounts. Be right back. Alright, let's launch this client that uses cookies and ads and Electron. Let's see if it's supported in 1.7. I even looked if it's supported or not. So they have an article about it. Can we take... Okay, so... Lunar Client settings, Shift R. Did they mention like supported versions? Keyframes. Is there more technical details at the end? You can also import media. Okay, so this is making a full-on video editor. Okay. Gotta love downloading every single cosmetic ever made since the starting of the time. Why do they have duplicate friend list people? That's crazy. Let me take a look at the article while that shit is launching. So, full integrated. You can simulate all the mods on your screen, so I suppose you can like put them around, rearrange them. Maybe if you're like trying to make a montage, you remove some of your utility mods. Okay, launching Lunar. So they're mentioning 1.8. Not sure. Is that shit? Why am I downloading? Why is there 9,700 textures? Probably all the cosmetics. Or I don't know what I'm talking about. Certainly recording Shift R. Are they adding support for like shift sensitive keystrokes? That'd be kind of cool. Okay, so Shift R to start and stop recording. You can also begin a rewind from Minecraft pause menu. Simply press escape. Okay. Oh yeah, so this is like the way Lunar, the way replay mod and flashback do it. You can record your microphone and system audio. Okay, nice. You can add a rewind. Makes sense. So what is in all here? So you see the height. You see the server you're on, the date. You see if it's a recording or a shadow. I'm presuming a shadow is like some kind of a, like some like replay buffer thing. So I'm on here. I see. Okay. Oh, they don't support right shift. Nice. Am I gonna be able to like change that keybind? Oh yeah, I'm not even okay. Oh, Lunar options. Thank you, because I'm on that weird Linux thing. So it's called Rewind. So what do you have in here? You can record your HUD. So there's some first-person capability on here. you can remove the text shadow from your HUD. That's weird. I mean, why can't you do that in post? Background height, show only on pause screen. So Shift R to record. Can you Control R? Oh shit. Okay, so this support advanced keybinds. That's pretty cool. Marker keybinds. So that would be kind of cool if that automatically triggered when you had a combo. I know the Iris recording mod on Dungeon Realms had some kind of like special thing where it looked in chat with, I think it was regex or something, to automatically do a mark if there was some like legendary item found in chat. So there could be some automation to do the marking. Auto record and connect, cross server recording, okay. Shadow rewind, so continuous background recording and saves the recent moments on pressing a key. So that's exactly replay mod, okay. Record microphone, okay. I'm not gonna mess around with Linux audio. Just gonna remove all that stuff that I don't need. So okay, so you have a mod right here. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, I guess I'll keep all that. So you have record. Is that crushing my stuff? Okay, so it started recording. So what I want to see is it gonna see my? Wait, so I'm on 1.7.10. So you're obviously gonna have animations. Is it gonna see when I'm like doing all this fancy animation trick? What else is there interesting to see? If I'm like changing my perspective, if I'm opening a chest, is it gonna see that I'm putting stuff inside of here? Let's see. Moving on stuff. Alright, let's see. So you have, oh okay, you have a marker, pause and stop. Alright, let's stop. And I see rewind editor, so let's take a look in here. So rename, open file location, what is that gonna show me? Oh, I love my default file editor being the being VS Codium, and I didn't want to do that. Containing folder. So we have a .rewind. So there. What is a .rewind? It's a zip. So if I unzip it, what is inside of there? So you have metadata.json. Whatever the fuck that is. Okay, that just leaked the server IP. Nice. IP duration. So I suppose maybe it's in ticks. I'm not sure if that's divided by 20 and see if it's in seconds. So you have some UIDs. Main compression dynamics is ESTD compression. Stuff I didn't want to share. Packets.dat. So this is only 100 kilobytes. Some snapshots. Mods packets. So maybe this is some kind of like archive of what mods were at the time. So let me open that because I think that's what we are all looking to do. So okay, oh, there's a full ass like mark track of the cursor. That's, I did not expect that. Okay, that's really nice. Another really important part is how much like it's capturing a second in terms of like first person updates. So you guys might have heard that like the replay mod, it was kind of cursed because it was doing everything on the client of the server side, trying to record everything that it would like be the server would kind of like receive in terms of information. So it would have like 20 ticks per second, and it would like just not look good. It would look like you're spectating someone in game mode 3, right? You would spectating someone else, and like it just looks hella interpolated. You see, you're like the movement is not natural, fluid at all. Doesn't look like the actual mouse movements of the person. And I suppose flight. Okay, so that's just your typical replay mod. Okay, so you go back and sync. So like first person preview. Okay, so that's nice. You got them animations. You know, the 1.7 OCD players need their nice animations. So I can already tell that the GUI is pretty well recreated. They don't show times. They don't show people, you know, like, oh, this was made with a rewind. Maybe on the rendering. Okay, so create project, test. So you can make a resolution of the timeline, I suppose. Okay, because you can, if they let you like record, like is it bound to your recording resolution? I really doubt it. I think it's going to be flexible. Like if I do something like this, yeah, there you go. So if you want to make some like 21:9. Am I still recording? Nice. If you want to make some 21:9 or something really wide stuff, if you guys know all of that, if you guys know about the people who do like edits and the universe editing Discord, I always see some super wide aspect ratios. So anyways, let me make a project in 1080p. Orientation of the timeline, a vertical timeline? Yeah, I'm not... Okay, I'll need to try this out later. You can go up to 165. I'm full maxing this. I like the FPS. Why is it 165? That's an odd number. Alright, so you have the whole video editing timeline. I'm not, like... Okay, so you have a target. I suppose you can select all the players. POV, free camera, first person. Okay. POV. I don't think it showed when I was in F5. So you can scroll. Oh, never mind. It does. I did see my back for a second. That's really nice. You can add a property. Holy fucking shit. They've been cooking this shit for a long fucking while. So you can drag and drop. Okay, you can import media. Can I take a look at the import dialog? Okay. That might be okay, that just crashed. Okay, well that's still pretty experimental, but I mean it's not that big of a feature to add a native OS dialog. Maybe they're struggling a bit with Wayland. Not gonna be too harsh on them. I guess I'll just do Java and Java W. Okay. Yeah, it crashed because I killed it. Alright, let's launch it again. I'll spare you the long launch times. It wasn't even that long. Like, if you're not stuck on like building cache or some shit, it actually is not that long. Okay, wait, why am I getting in game? I gotta go in here. So in test, it's a whole project. It's a 1.7.10 project. Are you able to mix in like clips .rewind files from different versions? That might be a limitation, and sounds like a pretty hard limitation. So you have sync overlays, so you can... Okay, that's kind of this what you would be seeing. I think Flashback has that. You have a full screen. Okay. Gameplay. You can enable tracks. Interesting. Menu editor settings. So faster winding, handle slowing, going back in time, macros, replay, and accuracies. Okay, so if you're editing in, it's a slow. Okay, the keybinds are gonna really do that. Okay. I know Flashback doesn't have keybinds for like some keybinds for stuff. Okay, you have a little explorer in here, and you can like, if I rename like this, can I rename that? I don't see any like option to type that in text. There's a library. Is that some songs? Actually, I'm not gonna do anything with audio. You guys can discover that yourself. I know audio is completely fucked on Linux. Timeline. So you have multiple timelines, like test. Okay, so you have multiple. Okay, they're doing some really fancy shit. They're rendering module FFmpeg. So they're having a. Ooh, I like that a lot. I like that shit a lot. Okay, so if they're having a separate module, that leads me to think that they're doing like a separate binary. Are they piping to FFmpeg like? Are they piping to FFmpeg like the replay mod did? Because that leaves a lot of doors open for renders and nerdy shit that I like to do. So let me just leave all the default settings. Okay, so they be detecting anime out of the box on the first version release. They have been cooking that stuff for a while. That looks really polished. I've seen a lot of replay editors, like work in progress stuff like that, for like other games and some really experimental stuff for Minecraft. Or there's been like Flashback lately, and this is the most polished one. They really have that cosmetic money. So if you render something. Also, they have a working thing here. So I have .minecraft, rewind, videos. Okay, I'll just do whatever default stuff. So I'm directly gonna get into my PowerShell and look at what is that? Process name FFmpeg And I want to look at what is the command line looks like. So they have their own FFmpeg. I'll look at what it is. So it's piping raw. It's taking input from raw video, kind of like VaporSynth is doing, kind of like how Blur and Smoothie do it. They pipe from VaporSynth to FFmpeg, and I suppose Lunar Client pipes to FFmpeg the same way with BG arrays. So it's probably some really like RGB format directly from the game or whatever. At the rate of 165, they're hard coding that. VF, okay, I gotta look into what that is. They're doing this, okay, well, are they doing, they're doing some bitrate stuff. I haven't looked into if there was an option to do QP rate controls. Okay. Well, you know, if there's a way to like, if there's a way to like, modify the FFmpeg arguments, it would be pretty cool. What are they shipping with? So this is the FFmpeg version that they ship. What inside of here? Is there like this looks like there's a lot of stuff in here. Like I don't see configurations this buffy all the time. FF build, okay, OS Linux. Enable GPL? Free? Not sure if that's legal. Free type. So that's that's an FFmpeg they either like got from some random source, or they, I don't know if there's like AVI synth. Okay, they got that. I don't know where they got that from. Maybe they compiled it themselves, and what is enabled might be some hints, but doubt it. libs, maybe that's for like subtitles. JXL, Opus, libssh, VPX, VP9. What the fuck is it? Isn't VPL like, I don't know what that is. LibOpenish, 264 Open JPEG, AV1. Isn't that like some nerdy Rust AV1 encoder? Saw that on GitHub. SDL2. FZT AV1. Shout out GB82. LibDRM. From some proprietary codecs. libx264, libx265. Okay. I'm not too sure with like GPL free if that's like allowed in a proprietary codec, but with their history of like implementing mods without other people's permission, it wouldn't surprise me if they did, you know, GPL stuff without permission. So we have a, yeah, I mean, you just have it. It's just there. I mean, I don't got much else to say except add frame blending and, you know, remove the FPS gap. And, I mean, end the game for renders. I mean, you know, I gotta find myself a job after that. Really nice work.